Another day of severe weather for the southern plains, but also an isolated risk for the mid-Atlantic and maybe flash flooding for places like California. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. Today is September 23rd, 2025. So starting off with severe weather, we have another slight risk today, or 2 out of 5 in the southern plains, specifically in Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. But we also have a marginal risk in the mid-Atlantic. And what this entails is today we have a 5% chance to see a tornado or two, a 15% chance to see both wind and hail, but for the mid-Atlantic specifically, we only have a 5% chance to see an isolated wind event. And similar to yesterday, we still have a flash flood risk from the eastern Rockies to the plains and Midwest, with most of the risk being in the southern plains to the Mississippi Valley. But now we also have a flash flood risk for the West Coast, specifically in California. So timeframes on when this is all going to happen, for places like the central plains and eastern Rockies, you guys are already seeing remnants of last night's storms, and unfortunately you guys are going to continue seeing showers and thunderstorms pretty much throughout the morning, afternoon, and all day. For places like Missouri, it's going to be a similar story, but we're going to see more heavier precipitation. And for Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas, you guys are going to see more intense storms around 2 to 3 p.m. Central Time. So throughout the plains and the Midwest, you guys can see an additional 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in the next 24 hours, but there are some places that may see 3 inches or greater. And for the Mid-Atlantic, you guys are going to see isolated cells around 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And for the California coast, you guys are going to see some showers pretty late today, around 10 p.m. Pacific Time, and that's going to last throughout the night and into tomorrow. You guys aren't going to see that much rainfall, maybe about half an inch, but places near the mountains or burn scars may see runoff. So why is this all happening? If we look at 500 millibars of midway to the troposphere, for the California coast, we do have a low pressure system that's going to be moving in. So for the next few days, you can expect the west coast to have more rainfall. Now for the central part of the US, we still have that trough that's been moving in slowly eastward, and right now it's pretty elongated. And what's significant about this trough is we have a couple of spots where there's going to be pretty good shear and pretty decent vorticity. So that's going to tilt those updrafts, prolong those storms, which is why we're seeing them last for so long, but also add more spin and upward motion. And there's a small band of greater wind speed that's going to be traveling into the Oklahoma area, and this is going to give the updrafts a boost. Now for the mid-Atlantic, we do have a really subtle shortwave trough, though it's pretty weak, and wind shear is kind of all over the place. Now if we go down to the surface, the east coast is already pretty warm and moist, so it's already somewhat unstable. So what's going to be the biggest factor to produce these storms is that we're going to have winds going downslope from the mountains, causing orographic descent. Because drier air is more dense than warm moist air, it's going to cause that surface lift. Now for the southern plains, we have a really straightforward weather pattern. So we have a really strong low pressure, and that's counterclockwise flow in Oklahoma, and what that's doing is bringing in warm moist air from the south, creating this warm front, but it's also bringing cooler drier air from the north, and it's bringing it in a cold front. And the location of that low pressure and cold front is important because it lines up with that band of shear that we talked about earlier, and that's going to really help produce those thunderstorms. And that's why we have